Welcome to Oz Pro Wrestling's first show, Kickstart the Heart. Tonight, Australian Wrestling returns to Ringwood with a huge card featuring some of the best wrestlers in Victoria today, as well as some of the best up-and-comers to grace our screens. Tonight, we will see a classic battle when Levi Nixon takes on former teammate and leader Barry O'Leary to prove he is finally out of his shadow.
That's not all, Andy. As Emmanuel comes out of retirement and makes his return to Australian wrestling, but he's got to get past Rory Holmes, a man who has been waiting for this opportunity and isn't going to let Emmanuel take this away from him.
Plus the moment we've all been waiting for. Tonight, we will see the rehabilitation of the Family Friendly GORE in what has to be one of the greatest miracles ever pulled off in an Australian wrestling ring. But now on with the show. I'm Lord Andy Coy.
And I'm Ryan Betson. Let's throw it over to Gemstone for our opening contest.
Your opening contest is a singles match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first.
What is love?
Now Ryan, what a way to kick off Kickstart the Heart with a real personal battle. They are both real life friends, I might add, but when it comes to the ring, anything goes. Both men, former teammates, with Barry O'Leary, who has just walked out to grace us with his presence, being the former leader of that unit. Tonight, Levi Nixon, who's been building his profile as a singles competitor, will attempt to escape the shadow of his former leader, Barry O'Leary.
Introducing first, weighing in at 95 kilograms from Melbourne, Australia, this is Lucky O'Leary.
So this is where you're going to have to come in and help me, Andy. Like, I don't know this gentleman. I've not seen him wrestle before, but he certainly has a presence. He's letting himself known very, very quickly.
Well, it's interesting. I first met Lucky O'Leary when he was competing over at PCW. And I think there was a time for his career to move on. So when he moved on, you might have seen him competing promotions such as Melbourne City Wrestling, for example. And he's taken it as an opportunity to step up in his career, to reinvent himself. Because the young man I used to know was a sadistic little bugger, but now he's a showman. He's coming out with the sparkles and the brightness. There's a smile on his face. He wants to redefine what it means to be lucky in Australian wrestling.
What an absolutely jacked individual. Like, as I mentioned, I have not seen him before, but immediately caught my attention as we sit here in Ringwood for the first ever Oz Pro. But this gentleman,
I gotta love this bit.
oh, now I may know not him. I may not know that as I stumble over my words, too much Opa. Like, it caught me off track. I may not know Barry O'Leary, but Levi Nixon, boy, do I know this gentleman. I have seen him across a number of different places, whether it be the likes of Renegades, MCW, just to say the least. Sorry, he's very conscious that we're not speaking over the amazing Gemstone.
I paid a lot of money for it.
Oh, absolutely, and deserves every cent of it. But individual, as you mentioned, sort of gone, find your way. You mentioned that Barry O'Leary has stepped away from being that sort of, what was the exact term you used a minute ago?
He was a malicious little bugger.
Malicious little bugger. I've seen Levi head into that direction, if I'm being honest.
Well, look, sometimes you've got to find that inner bugger to really help you get up to that next level. But I'll just quickly talk about my experience of Levi. I've known Levi Nixon when I met him in the very early days of Deathmatch Down Under. He was looking for that opportunity, and he was still wet behind the ears, still a little unsure of himself. But, you know, I kept half an eye on him, and I was very sympathetic when he had to take a considerable amount of time off due to injury. But then he's come back, and he's starting to rack up those successes as part of a team and part of a tag team, many tag team championships, and now he's starting to, you know, feel himself as a singles competitor. In fact, having just recently come back from a tour from Japan. But this is why I booked this contest. I like to make things a little bit interesting. These two men, they used to work together. They're friends in real life, and as much as I'm sure they love each other, nothing builds up tension but you've got one guy who wants to prove he's out of your shadow, and another guy who wants to say, I am the reason why I was your leader.
And we're seeing that kick in very quickly with Barry O'Leary standing tall after a couple lockups, sort of testing one another, trying to suss that out. As you mentioned, redefine that relationship between them. Where do they stand within the ring, both physically, emotionally, mentally? But once again, Barry with the upper hand there, putting Levi into that lock.
Yeah, he's got a tight side headlock right there, and this is a sensible strategy. I mean, it might not be as flashy and as exciting as his jacket, but right now he is controlling the momentum. He is making Levi Nixon carry his weight, and Levi Nixon is used to being the faster moving competitor in the match, and this is where we're starting to see him fly. But there he is, Barry O'Leary, the bigger, the heavier competitor, able to force Nixon down to the ground with the shoulder block.
Oh, I was about to compliment the man. I was like, for a moment, still supporting that friendship, reaching out his hand to help him out, but
yeah, there's got to be some very complex emotions going on right there at the moment. And so it's definitely going to be interesting to see if tempers are going to boil over or whether they're both going to hold back just ever so slightly due to their friendship. Burying the knee deep into the midsection there of Nixon. Nixon launching him off the ropes, and the match is speeding up. Jumps the sleeper. There's the leapfrog. The match is going fast. Oh, try to ride the blind spot. Hurricanrana! And that's what we're talking about. Nixon has the advantage when we get up to the fifth gear.
The second you can get that speed, you can get a little fast and furious. Ooh, it will give Levi that advantage. Except the biggest strength of Barry O'Leary seen with that chop.
Swift right hand to the temple there of Nixon, going for another chop, and Nixon able to get out of the way. Lacks the power of Barry O'Leary's, but they still sting, no doubt.
Because you have it looking at that slap just there, Andy. Sorry, I had to let the crowd have a bit of a moment there. As you can see, with that chop, it was more of a glancing blow. However, that in and of itself, it's not about just creating that dent in someone's chest. It's like that. You've been.
Oh, sorry to cut you off, Vixen, but it looks like Levi Nixon.
Ooh, pulls it
short.
short.
Look at that. He was not going to take the risk so early in the contest, and he knows his friend, and that frustrated O'Leary. He was embarrassed. Is Nixon going for it now? It looks like he might be doing a slingshot over the top rope. Nixon follows through and takes down O'Leary.
The first couple of minutes of any match, Andy, as I'm sure you're aware, whether it be running this promotion or being involved in so many around the world, those first couple of minutes of a match are really just kind of testing one another out, finding that balance. It's a little more psychological than physical, and we're seeing that earlier with Barry sort of having those moments of overpowering. And now we've seen the outcome of that. He's sussed out Levi, knowing where that strength is, where that speed, where those little gaps are, allowing him to get that little choke on the rope.
It's definitely about finding those opportunities, which we saw O'Leary just snapping Nixon over that top rope.
Holding him high.
Yeah, we have to comment on this. I mean, look, one of the reasons why Barry O'Leary was one of the first men I announced in the run to this show is because he is a powerful young man, a unit, and he just dropped him down hard, going for the cover, hooks the outside leg, and Nixon able to kick out.
Even a pin like that, as we mentioned from that psychological battle, that was not a deep cover. There was no arm on the face. There was no full bend of the leg. It was more of sending a message. It's like, look what I can do. I know you're going to kick out of this, Levi, but look what I can do.
I honestly think he was almost a pin to sort of test where Levi Nixon is when it comes to the fuel tank at this stage. And he now knows I got to wear on him a little bit more. So I'm going to drape his throat over that middle rope and then try and climb him.
And credit to Ref Collis coming in, breaking that up before it gets that little bit too far. Especially with a match like this between two friends, two former teammates. You don't want to have this end in a bit of a disqualification or just a little bit of pushing the rules.
No, absolutely. We want to see the best man walk out tonight. That's the intrigue behind this contest.
So Levi driven to the floor after being whipped into the corner. Eats a second turnbuckle right in the forehead by the looks.
I was going to say his brain rattling around his skull right now, and now that rattling has just travelled right down his spine, and you can see Levi Nixon, the frustration, the exhaustion, the pain just etched on his face right now.
It's bad enough to get that that reverberation of hitting
Just
it.
wanted to, sorry to cut you
no,
off, but I
please.
just heard Barry O'Leary say, so you think you can hang with the big boys, and that's exactly the mentality he's going into. It's almost like he is annoyed that Levi Nixon feels he can compete on the level of Barry O'Leary.
That back elbow, nobody home, and knee into the buckle. Levi with the advantage off the ropes.
Oh, look at that!
So the part I said him having the advantage, I take that back.
Hooks the leg. That was a cocky pin.
A much deeper pin than the first attempt. It looks like Barry is a bit more confident in himself at this moment, and he's not about testing Levi. He just wants to bring it home.
I was going to say, yeah, he's looking frustrated after that kick out. We saw the earlier kick out. We both agreed he was testing the waters. But right there, as he drives the knee into his spine, we're starting to see a little bit of frustration leak into Barry O'Leary. Maybe that concern that Levi could walk out the better man tonight. Look at that. Abdominal stretch, beautifully done. He's been working on the ribs, working on the back, and now he's going to be stretching and pounding away on those intercostal muscles, and the official needs to get on that. Come on.
We have calls coming there, breaking up. It's incredible work by Barry. So what you want to do, and what we're seeing here, is we're tackling that midsection, whether it be the front, the back, that whole region. That is where the key power comes for someone like Levi Nixon to get that speed, to sprint across the ring, to get airborne. You take that down, what does he have left?
Oh, the official has had enough of this now, and it's allowed Nixon to escape this predicament. And hopefully he managed to get out before too much damage was done to his core, firing those shots, forcing O'Leary into the ropes. The reversal. Nixon now ducks the back elbow, and huge smash into the side of the face. And Levi Nixon, he is feeding off the crowd. The crowd now getting into this contest, and they are solidly behind the King of
Oh, I can't help but not be excited with that little energy coming from you, Andy.
Hey, it's one of the joys of being the commentator. I get to hear my voice and be as loud as I want.
Levi. Nobody home, sadly. Ducks it, turns around.
Oh, beautiful eye of the hurricane-esque maneuver right there. Hooks the inside leg. He's pulling tight. But you got to wonder how much of that damage to the intercostal muscles might have prevented him getting a real proper hook.
I appreciate your assistance with the eye of the hurricane. It all happened too quick, and my brain just wouldn't connect the two.
It's like, that's an early 2000s move. What was it?
Attempted tornado DDT. Nobody home.
Oh! And again, the ribs, the back, and Barry O'Leary. That's a tight cover right there. And a determined kick out from Nixon, who had to dig deep because of the... Whoa.
Look, we're seeing some desperation. We're seeing some frustration. We're seeing how close Levi was to that rope.
I was going to say, Barry O'Leary really doesn't want to test the referees. The referees will fine him, and I'm looking for any profit margin I can get on this third show.
Any extra bucks you can make happen. So Barry, keep pushing it.
This is the show that could give me a $10 profit just based on him being a naughty boy. There's the cover. There's the kick out there from Barry O'Leary. And again, Levi Nixon, I suspect, is suffering from the inability to get proper leverage due to the damage to the midsection. O'Leary kicking out, ducks the clothesline, the backside, there it is, 1, 2,
You brought up an incredibly good point. So he's not going for those conventional pins. Instead, tornado DDT!
Beautiful, he got it this time.
Nothing pops me more than a DDT, I just put it out there. But we're seeing all these variations of these pins.
2,
except for just they're going with that traditional sort of leg crank.
That boring cover, is that what you were trying to accuse him of?
Well, no, he went for with that inability to properly work his core. He's forced him to use those alternates.
Oh, Nixon tried to kick his head off right there. Barry O'Leary with the cover. Hang on, no! Oh, O'Leary! I didn't think Jem's voice could sound so bitter to my ears.
Wow.
Hearing that Barry O'Leary actually got the victory there, courtesy of a roll-up and a big handful of the middle rope. Ryan, what's your thoughts? You look at
I'm taken aback. As we're seeing here in the replay, it's out of absolute nowhere. Going for not even like the lower, getting the full leverage from that middle rope. Ref Collis unable to see it, so no additional fine, no money.
No additional fine, no
this one.
profit for this show, damn. But obviously, I think the real story is the frustration and the disappointment for Levi Nixon. You know, he came here with a mission to try and get that big statement win, but unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be.
Your next match is a singles match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first.
Now, as I'm sitting here and looking at this sheet,
Yep,
Andy,
go for it.
this is where I'm getting excited.
Yeah. I am humanitarian of the year.
But coming out first, we have Bush, Kelly, cowbell, and rope in hand.
Look,
Dries a bone. Oh, it's beautiful.
I am a proper old school fan deep down in my heart. So when, of course, I saw Bush Kelly for the first time, I was like, I want him so bad.
And we couldn't be doing a show called Oz Pro Wrestling without a man in a Dries a bone. It would feel weird otherwise. That little pump of Australia. We see it on the Tron behind him. We see the Bush, that Australiana.
Oh yeah, I mean, as an Englishman, calling my promotion Oz Pro Wrestling is appropriation of the highest cause, but at the same time, by booking him, I'm covering all my bases.
As in, like, 9 generations Australian, as we've been here forever. Pretty stoked about it. And look, suplexing a cow, that's cow tipping to a whole next level. But if you want to talk about your humanitarian efforts and your incredible ability,
Oh god.
I do not know how you have made this
Look
happen.
at it! Gore, the rainbows, family friendly, the cute fluffy creatures. God, a big thank you for Jack who edited this music video. Now usually Gore comes out to, well, some gory images.
Oh! Look at that, those 2007 Kanye glasses, dual akimbo bubble guns. This is a new Gore.
Well,
This is a changed
I
Gore.
mean, admittedly, I asked him to smile and I had to print a smiley face on a mask and get him to wear it, but he's smiling. So I should explain.
Is that, I just want to clarify. Now, normally I'm used to snuff.
No.
Was
No.
that fun?
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
Okay, look, here's the thing. You all know him as Gore.
Yes.
And he's been painted out to be a horrific human being. And look, I can certainly understand why many people would think that. You know, he has been in matches where he's ripped off people's limbs and beaten to death and so on. But I like to think of him as my mate Gory. And deep down, don't laugh. Deep down, there's a good human being there.
I appreciate you opening like your personal life and, you know, your little fun name for Gory. I feel it's very personal, so thank you for sharing that.
Joe, we have a great relationship. It's when he tells me to eat shit and die online, and it's like, you big kidder. Anyway, look, here's Gory taking on Bush Kelly. I thought two great family-friendly characters clashing in the middle of the ring. And look, just in case something goes wrong, we've got one of the best medics in the back to stitch anyone back together if need be. So here we go. Here we go. This is my humanitarian award.
Kicking things off with a lock-up. Gore getting the upper hand, but showing some remorse.
Do you see what I mean?
This
Look,
is like
shaking the official's hand and everything.
Wow. You know what?
I didn't even have to do the Clockwork Orange thing of holding his eyes open with matchsticks and make him watch Bluey episodes on loop.
Oh, no, you can't do that with Bluey. You need to be able to close your eyes to hold to cry.
Oh, these tears would have free-flowed.
Oh, he's a beautiful changed individual. But look, we can see it. It's complete demeanor. It's a change in stance. He's kind of a bit more hunched over.
He said the word sorry.
Yes. Wait, hang on. Sorry. Did
the lockup
Gore
was
say sorry?
Yeah, the lockup was quite tight. He was worried about chafing his opponent.
Wow.
I know. See, he's a good man.
Nobel
There is a
Peace Prize.
Thank you. There is a tiny kernel. It is very small, I will admit, but it's full of caramelly goodness. He's a lovely man.
And even a bit of sportsmanship coming from Gore, welcoming Kelly back into the ring. As you mentioned, I have seen Gore in so many places.
Look at that smile.
Oh, look at that. It's beautiful. I have seen him decimate, near on murder people.
Okay,
as
we
he's
can't
run.
say murder on Osprey.
Oh, my apologies.
Rip limb from
severe damage to an individual.
Sure. Yeah.
So thank you.
Permanently paralyzed.
Thank you, editor, for the cast, for the beep.
What is Batman allowed to do?
Everything but murder.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. And now he's family friendly gore now.
Ooh.
He is Batman gore.
I am.
Look, it's both men now testing their strength against one another, and Bush Kelly, whoa, technical wrestling, beautifully done. So we've covered the word wrestling in my promotion's name. That's good.
Yep.
Family friendly gore now. Off the ropes. Bush Kelly rebounds and some deep bruising there.
Yeah, that's some
testicle area.
hardcore soft tissue damage in that upper pec. The speed at which Kelly came at Gore. Gore.
Gore! Just wind it back a bit, mate.
Yep.
Wind it back a bit.
Little too much there. A little too much from Gore.
Let's see,
Goes
here
the run.
we go.
Goes the frog.
Beautiful. Jumps over Bush Kelly. Kelly onto his feet. And look at this. This is practically Lucha Libre.
Oh, but two genuinely nice, massive dudes.
Lovely, massive dudes. Just as we like. And look at this.
Gore jumping for joy.
Oh, he's winding up the punch, runs into the corner. Oh, he's doing the 10 count in the corner. That's it, Gore. Come down now. We don't want to go past 10.
We did see the 10 count in the first match of the show, but the intentions here feel very different, Andy.
Well, there you go. Bush Kelly going for a big body slam now, and Gore! Gore felt that.
Gore looks to be irreparably damaged with his back spasming, sending him all across this ring.
Look, if you thought that what we do wasn't real, you can see right there. That's very real what we just saw.
He is pushing through that smile.
The smile never leaves his face. Shot to the midsection now, and Bush Kelly launches it out of the corner. I have never seen Gore dominated like this before.
I have never seen someone send Gore that far. That soft tissue damage, that nerve pain from the strength of Kelly.
I just hope he's going to be able to walk out of this show, because I want to book him for future events.
I hope he has
This is my Doink the Clown.
I hope he has the ability to walk in and come out and share this joy, this newfound love with all these incredible people here in Ringwood, families, kids.
I know. I have changed him to a man that you would gladly take home to your mother.
Spinning
Sidewalk
sidewalk.
slam, maybe?
We're gonna wait and see.
Oh no, Gore's gonna get dizzy with this.
I've got motion sickness from this.
Oh, look at that! Bush Kelly drops down Gore hard, and both men are down. The question is, who's gonna get to their feet first, Ryan?
I'm not too sure. Both men clamoring, looking very vertigo influenced. I'm gonna say vertically challenged, but they are also that, as both men are on the mat. The energy from Kelly could be enough to get him back up.
Sorry, I don't know why.
Yes, there he is.
There you go. Bush Kelly to his feet, calling on the wrestling gods to stay in this thing. And now the family-friendly Gore. Oh, he caught the clothesline, and Bush Kelly looks like he's going to go for a big slam right there. Beautifully executed.
Great Samoan drop from Kelly. He himself seems a little bit shocked.
I was going to say, the way he's blinking his eyes reminds me of me on a Saturday morning after a bender.
Be right out. Watching this incredible change that we have seen with Gore, the power of yourself, Andy, the power of Kelly, the power of Australia. There's another tick in the name being dropped.
Beautiful. Tell you one thing, if this doesn't get me promoter of the year, nothing will. Bush Kelly staying on his feet, and the family-friendly Gore looks like he might be getting back into this thing, sort of reattaching his head and flexing the muscles, getting the blood flowing again. We saw the damage that was done to him earlier in the contest, and big clothesline, and okay, Gore.
Hang on.
We're seeing. He needs to pull the mask down a little bit. I can see those. Oh God, no.
Because I'm seeing a change in posture. I'm seeing a change in attitude.
No. Gore, I need you to find your inner peace. Oh God, no. Oh God, no! I did not want the kids to see this mask.
Dear, and a new one.
I would have removed it beforehand, but it's literally super glued on.
Oh yeah. We're talking like Jim Carrey mask. It's ingrained. It's stuck to it. There is more mask than man at this point.
Exactly. There is no skin underneath that. It's just attached directly to the flesh. But Gore now following through, and okay, I'll admit, I'm a bit concerned now.
Belly to belly suplex from Gore puts Kelly on the mat.
Okay, he's now warding the official off, and the official is there to make sure that both competitors are healthy, and if he needs to count the 3, then he needs to count the 3, and oh no.
Family friendly. Family friendly, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
Yes.
Okay, Gore now setting up for this huge match-ending maneuver that we've seen from him a number of times. Dominator. And hopefully that's it. Just pin him. Get this over with. No, keep the shirt on. He knows his abs are not appropriate for a family audience.
Yo, this is not a PG-13 physique.
Oh God, no! I think I've made a terrible mistake, Ryan.
Look, what we saw that full gut wrench into the Dominator.
Why are you giving him a mic?
You fat pussy.
Whoa!
No! Whoa! Oh, I'm gonna get cancelled for this.
I hate fun.
What?
I hate Ringwood.
No.
I hate Andrew Coyne.
Whoa!
You are all scum. Especially you.
Is that us?
I hate Bush Kelly.
He earned a pretty penny on those t-shirts.
For your family.
Oh God! Whoa! Now Gore now using that shirt that has brought a lot of money for this show, just choking the life now out of Bush Kelly.
Ref David making the call, disqualification to the advantage of Kelly.
Well, thanks to that, can you now get in there and stop him decimating? But oh, wait a minute! Ryan Rapid, who came to this show tonight to sort of give moral support to Bush Kelly.
Checking in on his mate. Ooh, yeah.
Oi, look! Just because you've only got a face that your mum can love doesn't mean you have to be a piece of crap to him! Oh, you want to be this big, bad bully? I knew from the start, you weren't family friendly. I knew from the get-go. That's right. I don't like family friendly, Gore. I like the beast. I like the baddest son of a bitch in this house. And I got told that I had a mystery main event. That I had the right to choose who I face. And I can't think of anyone better than you.
Well, there you go, Ryan Rapid calling his shot for the main event.
In the main event, it will be Ryan Rapid taking on Gore.
Oh, first time ever!
Wow.
And I just want to say one more thing. I say this to everybody, but I'm going to say it directly to you. It doesn't matter who you are or what you do. If you're going to talk crap, I'm coming for you!
Ryan Rapid, multi-time Australian champion, one of the most daring daredevils in the business today, has called a shot against the malevolent Gore. The family-friendly experience will try and revisit that down the line. But
Low blow to Rapid.
oh no! Adding value to the chair, but
I was going to say, look at all those
taking
incredible
years.
signatures on that chair.
I'll be selling that at the next show for an extra $10, but for now, Gore and Ryan Rapid have set the stage for our main event. First time ever, Ryan Rapid looking for some payback on behalf of his friend, Bush Kelly, as he takes on Gore tonight. Family Friendly is out the window. I'm going to try and talk him out of this, but I think we have just seen the side of Gore that we are unfortunately all very used to.
I imagine during the halftime, Andy, you're probably going to sneak off a little bit, sit down with Gore on a side, maybe even speak to Ryan as well, try to calm him down. He's coming in hot and heavy as well. Check on Kelly, make sure everyone's all good to go.
Now, I also have been informed that as a result of Gore's actions, he was disqualified, meaning a round of applause for your winner of that match, Bush Kelly.
I love Jen, but Captain Obvious right there, after mangling a dude with a chair.
Our main event this evening will be Ryan Rapid versus Gore.
It is good to clarify what happened in quick succession.
That's fair, that's
This
fair.
next match is a singles match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first.
Now this match I am very, very excited to see. I've seen Eleaine Hope sort of come out of nowhere from the Relentless School of Pro Wrestling, having shots here, there, everywhere, really beginning to make herself known. And what is going to make you more known than taking on one of Australia's hardest women?
Making her way to the ring from the East Australia, it's
I have known Eleaine for years. This is somebody who's been helping out at shows. I first met her working behind the merch desk some 7 odd years ago perhaps. And I thought to myself, if I'm going to run a show, I want to create opportunities. I want to create an opportunity for Eleaine Hope. So, I got on the buzzer with the coaches and went, what does Eleaine Hope need? And they basically said she needs to be thrown in the deep end. Doesn't get any deeper than this.
Absolutely. I'm going to have to ready myself because every time Vixen walks out, even though I was preparing myself when it still got me.
She does it every time, and this is the deep end. This is the kaiju of Australian wrestling. You see, for Eleaine Hope, she will get something out of this contest. Win, lose, or draw. The question is, how far is Vixen going to take her role as teacher seriously here tonight?
Look, you said she's going to leave here with something. I imagine it's going to be a severe injury.
Well, hopefully not.
Well, but I mean, in like a competitive sense is what I'm getting at. We've seen Vixen, former deathmatch champion, international talent, Japan, Australia, New Zealand. That's just the three that I can think of top of my head.
Yeah, referee, are you ready? As ready as I'm ever going to be. Whoa, jeez. And Eleaine coming into this with a sort of a sense of positivity, but you can also see the nerves as well. And she's ready for this opportunity. And whether she's really ready, we're about to find out. And here we go, the collar elbow tie-up right there. And Vixen immediately throwing her back. And look, I spoke to Eleaine. I checked to make sure she wanted this match, and she said that this was a dream match for her. This is a match she wanted to tick off the bucket list and go for a quick roll up there, but immediately a big kick out there from Vixen.
Look, the one advantage that Eleaine is going to have heading into this match, being that rookie, quote unquote, not the legend, the tenure of a Vixen, does give her that upper hand and sort of potentially put her off guard. However, the second you have an opportunity, Vixen's going to grab it and take it.
So this is it for Vixen. It's all about controlling the momentum of the match. Use your power. We've seen it now. The Beal, the body slam. She's now got her stuck in the corner with the double strike into the chest cavity, driving the wind out of Eleaine Hope, trying to rob her of any opening to get back into this thing. Shots into the midsection, and this is going to test Elaine's character. I'm not going to lie to you. Another Beal.
Snaps, sends her into the middle of the ring. Just kind of toying with her food at this point.
Well, Eleaine trying to climb those ropes to get back up into this thing. And Vixen throwing her down to the ground and sent on! Oh, all that weight just straight. I was going to say the ribs, but actually the whole goddamn skeleton probably felt that.
Now, Andy, you couldn't run a show here called Oz Pro Wrestling without having one of Australia's best female wrestlers in Vixen? Was it an easy choice for you to obviously have her on the show?
I did toy. I did wonder, because as you mentioned, she's held some pretty hardcore championships, shall we say. And, there was a concern whether she would reside within the rules of a traditional wrestling match. And so far, it seems that she certainly is. But ultimately, my priority was to create an opportunity for Eleaine Hope and give her this opportunity to face one of Australia's best and just to see whether she can hang in there.
I think one of the biggest misconceptions around Vixen, as she just pummels Eleaine with a series of forearms, people sort of will think different of her because of her
misses the splash in the corner, and Eleaine Hope, it looks like she's found that opening. She's going to follow it out of the corner, spinning kick right underneath the jaw, the leg lariat, and unfortunately, that opportunity, she's still in this thing. The front drop kick, Eleaine Hope off the ropes, and Vixen just will not fall off her feet.
Did stumble her back though, as I was saying, with someone with a hardcore legacy like
choke
Vixen.
bomb! And that might be it. 1, 2, 3, and Elaine's hope was just dashed right there.
Many will dismiss Vixen because of her hardcore tendencies. However, she is an incredible and exceptional professional wrestling talent. We saw that here. Eleaine wanted her opportunity. She wanted to go into that deep end, as you mentioned before.
And that was very much the deep end. And the question is, what is next for both of these competitors? I mean, Vixen with the win here, you see the choke bomb on the ring plate. And I think the real question is, what is Eleaine Hope going to take from this match? How is she going to improve the next time she finds herself in a sink and swim?
Scares the crap out of me every time. I don't know what I can say.
Well, I'll tell you this, Ryan, I hope you've been brushing up on the technical names of holds and submissions, because we're very well going to see a lot of those unless Jarvis has his way. This, for me, was one of the biggest matches for me personally. You got two very similar men, and first we got coming out is Jarvis, and for a man so young, a former Australian wrestling champion, a former tag team champion, involved in some of the biggest promotions, he has taken Australian wrestling by storm.
Weighing in at 75 kilograms from Melbourne, Victoria, he is the greatest champion!
And you can see that confidence, he is hardlined right into his veins. The confidence of the self-proclaimed the greatest coming into this contest is off the charts, but it's very well deserved.
I was going to say, like, you better be able to back it up if you're going to act like this. Come in with that confidence, that swagger, that obnoxiousness. You better hope you can back up. Thankfully, Jarvis can do that. He will be putting his opponent, Owen Steadman, through the ringer today.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Owen coming out. I want to talk a lot about this young man, because he is very much the other side of the coin when it comes to Jarvis.
And introducing his opponent.
So Owen Steadman,
good citizen of Ringwood, nailing it.
That's why I picked the venue. But no, Owen Steadman, as I mentioned, the other side of the coin. You can see that there's some religious influence here, and at the end of the day, Owen is a young, humble but hungry competitor, trained by Andy Rhodes, coming out of Gippsland.
A Terrelgan boy, literally my hometown.
He drove over 2 hours for this opportunity, because for Owen Steadman, a technical marvel, a man who has been coined by his trainer as the most dangerous man coming out of Gippsland.
I went to Traralgon College.
Okay.
There is some dangerous people from the Valley. So that sets a very strong framework for what Steadman can do.
And of course, in great wrestling tradition, you can tell how dangerous he is from the stubble on his face.
Ooh.
But one of the reasons why I set this match is because I saw some video clips from GPW of Owen Steadman making mincemeat of some of the very best in Australian wrestling, like Lockie Hendricks.
Wow.
And also a hell of a losing efforts against Adam Brooks. I advise you go look for those matches online because they will revolutionize the way you think. And the thing is that being a mark for the old days, I saw Owen Steadman's beautiful German suplex. I want this guy. So yeah, both men, similar age, but such very different experiences coming into this match. Jarvis, the overachiever, has earned every single one of those accolades, and Owen Steadman, he's been on the outside of the bubble, trying to get in there, and I wanted to let him into the bubble. And I'll tell you one thing, there are rumours that other promotions are starting to look at Owen Steadman in a very different light, because if he can get past Jarvis, undoubtedly the biggest win of his career.
It's arrogance versus being humble. We're seeing this right now as Jarvis already getting in the face of Ref David. Bell has rung. Things kicking underway. Bit of swagger in both their steps.
Look at the personalities. One with this calm confidence and another man showing confidence as well, but in such an extroverted manner.
But in like a need to have that confidence affirmed to him. Steadman. Ooh.
I know that Steadman has a number of his family in the audience tonight. They have driven down with him, including his partner, who I got to meet before the show ran, a lovely young lady. And you know that she will be cheering him on to victory tonight.
Absolutely. And look, all bias aside, it's not going to happen. He's my hometown boy. I have to stick it. I cannot wait to see what Steadman could do. Because as you mentioned, GPW promotion down there, trained by Andy. I lived there 18 years of my life. Didn't even know there was a school, a company, let alone talents like Owen coming out of there. Gets me that waist lock and brings Jarvis to the mat.
Drops him down. Quite a bit of MMA, sort of amateur wrestling sort of stylings going on here.
Gator roll?
Yeah, riding like a gator roll. And there you see the inverted figure four arm lock there. And Owen Steadman, this is how he warms up his opponents for the future torture. And look at this, he's got the fingers, the joint manipulation, driving it down. And I think Jarvis came into this contest, oh, look at that, bridging into it very much like a Doug Williams style maneuver type there. Sorry, had to let my British wrestling.
Oh no, get excited. Like we were discussing earlier about those opening couple minutes is all about feeling out your opponent. With Owen, he came in quick as he locks in that bridge again.
And meanwhile, Jarvis is losing feeling in his arm right now.
But not even like, oh, let's see what your limits are. Let's find. He's like, I'm going to push you to your limits immediately. See that elbow of yours? Guess what I can do to it? It's going the wrong way.
But you know what? We've talked a lot about Owen Steadman, and it's not fair to dismiss Jarvis because...
I'll let you do that. I'm enjoying the Steadman
fun. Jarvis, you know, he's currently holding one of the top tag team championships.
That's true.
In Victoria today, possibly Australia. He is a former Australian heavyweight champion, though admittedly there's a little bit of an asterisk there because it was a women's championship over at Melbourne City Wrestling. But tell you one thing, this guy has accolades. He has victories in the biggest promotions in Victoria today.
Look, we were commenting on that arrogance before, but it is... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say Steadman with a Greco-Roman pull of the hair to get him back into that headlock there. There you go, that's all I was going to say.
He has absolutely earned that arrogance. It's the challenge that you face of being an incredibly successful individual at such a young age. It kind of does something to you, puts you in a different space. For some, it will fire you up and help you achieve even bigger things. And that could be the path that Jarvis goes today if he does happen to get the win over Steadman.
Steadman landing on his feet. Northern Lights just muscled him over and then went straight over and he's looking for an armbar. And Jarvis getting out of there quickish.
The core strength to go from that bridge into the arm lock. Or just do that.
Ryan, do you feel that Jarvis went into this perhaps overconfident?
Absolutely. I believe Jarvis lives his entire life in overconfidence. And walking into this, man, as you mentioned, Steadman kind of working off to the sides in southeast Victoria. Not everyone has been lucky enough to see him. And I imagine Jarvis is in that similar boat.
I mean, one of the disadvantages Jarvis will have is there is more. Oh, misses the elbow drop. There's more match footage out there of Jarvis. Lots more for Owen Steadman to prepare to. Oh, look at this. Look at this German. God damn, that's a beautiful German. Hooks him, but no. But holds on. Oh, no. Jarvis might be going to Suplex Boulevard here. Oh, drops him on his head and floats through again.
Jarvis attempting to twist his way out of that suplex, instead landing more deeper on his shoulder.
Jarvis fighting out of there, and Owen Steadman immediately changing strategy, going for that cross arm breaker once again. And it could be that he's trying to play a numbers game. Quite like how a wrestler constantly goes for pinfalls, because one day he knows he'll get the 1, 2, 3. Maybe Steadman is thinking, if I keep going for the arm, I will eventually lock it in. And it's a strategy that's certainly worth considering, because you can see Jarvis there trying to shake it off.
Or even from a different, we'll look at it, Inseguri to the side of Jarvis's face. You can work that arm consistently. Get Jarvis overprotective of it, opening up his other limbs.
Flying through the heavens and a front drop kick! A glorious miss! And oh god, that sounded like a shotgun went off the impact he hit that ring with.
We mentioned it, we saw it earlier, that ring awareness from Jarvis to get his foot on that bottom rope to break the hold. That ring awareness coming in again, ducking out of the way.
Yeah, it's interesting. Jarvis, when he first started out, you know, he was a beloved high flyer. People loved watching him fly, but you'll have noticed that Jarvis, with his new demeanor, with the experience, he's not taking those chances. And it was Owen Steadman who instead took the high-risk chance, hit him with a Michinoku driver, a tight cover, and a kick out there from Steadman. And that's interesting. Jarvis' psychology, almost understanding the mental playbook that Steadman is coming in, waited for him to make that monstrous mistake, and now he can capitalize.
We're seeing that right now, capitalizing on that 5 count from the ref, breaking it just in time. With a throwback walk of his own.
He's feeling very confident, and I don't blame him. Owen Steadman looking vulnerable right now. Just a reminder, his family have bought tickets to be here tonight to witness what will hopefully be one of the biggest wins, not only in regards to the opponent, but also in regards to the location as well. Okay, goes for another cover, and actually almost like a cloverleaf crossover with the legs there to try and apply more pressure. Quite close to the ropes, wasn't able to get it, and Steadman able to kick out.
Even grabbing on the ropes, however, ref David unable to see it from the angle that he was. Forearms to Steadman.
Steadman there with a shot, trying to get out of this thing. But Jarvis maintaining control and launching him hard into the corner.
Dear, he sent him into that corner. His back already damaged from that high-risk maneuver earlier.
Oh, Jarvis just rubbing the salt into the wound, so to speak, and launching him again into the corner. But this time, Steadman able to get out of the way.
Further damage to that arm. Now, what was it? We're discussing. Jarvis pulling out the leg, planting Steadman in that corner.
You can see a great deal of intelligence from Jarvis.
That's what I was going to say. We're sitting here, we're thinking this arrogance is unearned, but what if it's all a ploy in and of itself? You know, get your opponent agitated with that attempted cutter.
Try to go for a slingshot cutter, and unfortunately for him, Owen Steadman able to get back to the arm via a kick, and then just slamming with the wrist lock, just slamming his arm down to the mat. And you can see that clearly the torque on the shoulder, Jarvis holding it in pain, the referee actually even checking on him. And there's the bow and arrow, and hesitation drop kick right into the corner.
Nothing but boot to face. Owen sends across the ring, reversed by Jarvis.
Jarvis now following through, and it looks like that both men may be harboring some small injuries here. And the poke into the eye there, and now the slingshot cutter. Will he get it this time? And yes, he does.
However, still.
Well, that was the problem with the cutter. He had to use his arm for it, and He's obviously trying to get some blood into his shoulder, and Steadman able to kick out, but he had to dig down deep.
I was going to say,
he just had his face driven to the ground.
They're still nursing that shoulder.
And in some ways, yes, he is now trying to wear down Steadman. But also, how much of this is Jarvis giving himself an opportunity to not so much rest, but to try and get the strength back into his arm? The more time he buys for himself, the better it'll be in the long run.
Yeah, we're seeing that with that hold from Jarvis, using his left arm, the noticeably less injured, sort of to rest that right arm, take that moment, get that breather, to be in a position to do things like that.
Steadman somersault out of the corner. He's found his opening, got the distance, ducks the back elbow. Off the turned him inside and out with that clothesline. And the fans here in Ringwood are pleased to see the momentum change. Flying forearm shot, the momentum, the pendulum, definitely swinging in the favor here of young Owen Steadman.
Both men on the mat. Owen first to his knees, pulling this energy, this power from somewhere deep inside him, this desire to win, to come out and be that name, no longer hiding in the countries of Victoria.
Well, this is it. I wanted to create opportunities for people, and I think it's a perfect storm. His family is here. He's got a crowd who wants him to win. Oh, somersault! Reverse DDT. AJ Styles would be proud, but Jarvis wouldn't let him connect. And oh, look at this.
So attempted roll up into the single leg crab. Is that correct?
Yeah, single leg crab. Yeah, single leg Boston, single leg crab, whatever you want to call it.
One of those moments where you say it and you go, wait, is that right? But Jarvis certainly knows what that was. He's feeling it all in his lower back.
But it's almost like, I'm not sure how intentional that was, but it's almost like Steadman set him up to be doing a press up on his injured arm so he can kick it out from underneath him. Cross arm breaker once again. I think this is like the fourth time he's possibly gone for it. And look at that, just shots to the exposed ribs. Just trying to get him to let go of that butcher's hook. But Jarvis, the intelligent competitor that he is, uses that momentum to get the cover. Wheelbarrow cover, and oh no, into a stomp right into the ribs. You see Steadman there holding his guts.
As they're both men gasping for air. Jarvis, as you mentioned, high flyer.
Well,
getting into his position.
Well, Jarvis now has decided now's the time to roll the 20-sided dice. The question is he going to get the nat 20? And no, he's not.
No, not quite a ultimate fail with the one. Probably like a good 3. Steadman gets up top.
See, I'm down with the Dungeons and Dragons kids, as you can tell. Climbing up to the heavens, firing the shots, hits the headbutt.
I was always more a Savage Worlds kid myself.
Heresy. Owen Steadman with a shot, and both men trying to get some in here. I mean, Jarvis wanted to take the risk, and the question is, who is it going to pay up? Oh, God.
It's going to suck for everybody. Superplex from the top. Now,
the ghost of Bret Hart is nodding in approval. I know he's not. It's a kind
I was about to say we need to see a replay of that, thankfully, but the editor smashing it. Well done.
He's a lovely man. Beautiful too.
Oh, that's an added advantage. He's nice and he's attractive.
I find that compliments fend off the request for pay increases. You're also looking spectacular today, Ryan.
Why, thank you. I do feel very handsome at this desk here tonight. Forearm exchange from both these gents. Just the last of their energy by the looks. They are drained.
I was going to say, I mean, this contest is, I think it is the longest running contest we've had so far today.
Yeah, absolutely.
And both men just exchanging strikes. And I'll tell you one thing, I knew that if Steadman was going to win this, it was going to be close, because Jarvis is here to play. Both young men in great condition. You know, both young men, no heart conditions to worry about here tonight.
I was going to say, looks like the upper hand was with Steadman for a moment with those forearms.
Ducks the clothesline, the kick attempt, and got one of his own, and Jarvis just got rocked.
You can see the white of Jarvis's eyes as he takes that boot to the noggin.
And you know why? Great correlation from the editor.
Nice.
Yeah, another compliment. I'll shave off a $5.
Quality color grading.
Steadman now follows through, but I was going to say made a mistake, but actually caught himself in time.
Catch himself a little donkey kick, drops Jarvis to the mat, gets him in prime position for that, was a moonsault.
Look, he hit him, he fell down. Let's just stick with that. And he's climbing to the top rope now. And he looks like he might be going for something beautiful and graceful, but oh no! No water in the pond. The frog exploded. And Jarvis now, this is the time. This is the time to make the risk. And there it is, frog splash! And he got it. And that's the experience. That's the intelligence. 3 on. Steadman with the kick out.
Interesting work from Jarvis. The frog splash, the way he pivoted his shoulder, had him with an elbow drop as well.
I've got a comment. Jarvis just looking in deep surprise, and that cockiness, that demeanor that he projects out to the outer world has slipped away, and we are very much seeing exactly what he's feeling deep down inside. Firing those forearm shots one after the other.
The loudest people tend to have the most fractured egos. Steadman pushing in deep into that. I wouldn't say fracture, it's almost the Mariana Trench.
Kippy, you ain't shit! I'm the greatest! Kiss him!
Whoa! Well, that was uncalled for. And look at this, Steadman is out. And now he's calling out to his mother. What a despicable human being.
But it's bad enough you put a bad name, you tarnished the area that we grew up in. Only we can do
Off
that.
the springboard, and look at that, the stunner. And if Jarvis knew what was right, he'd go for the cover, and he looks like he's going straight for it. Tight, outside cut, and oh, wait a minute. Jarvis, once again, the cross arm breaker, and this time, though, he's got the butcher's hook. But Jarvis
a little late to the butcher's hook, however. We're seeing it. It is fingertips. It is stretching. It is pulling. You can, compliments to the editor. This is no color grading. This is just red. This is blood flow. This is intensity within the hands, the chest, the arms of both these gentlemen, pulling with everything they have.
Jarvis with the cover. He might have it, but no. And there it is. He's got it locked in. And the question is, how much pride has Jarvis got? Is he going to get to the ropes, or is he going to tap to preserve himself? Oh, look at the angle. That is sickening. The shoulder looks like it's about. Oh my God! Oh my God! He did it! He did it!
He worked it. He spent the entire time focusing on the right arm of Jarvis, weakening it, chipping away at it little by little, and it all paid off here in the end as his hand gets held high. Owen Steadman secured himself a win today.
That was a huge upset. That was a big upset. I wanted great opportunities, but I wasn't sure how far Owen was going to take it. And unlike what we saw with Eleaine Hope earlier tonight, he grabbed this beast by the horns, and that beast is pissed. Look on the face of Jarvis, because he knows he came into this. He underestimated Steadman, and although it looked like Jarvis was going to get the win, I mean, look at this. Beautiful elbow drop. Goes to the cover. He thought he had it right there, but Steadman was able to hang in there.
There's a bounce off the bottom rope that allowed the arm to be cranked in and
that's what he was going for, the cross arm breaker, and he finally got it. And Jarvis, due to the damage done to his shoulder, eventually had to relent. He had no choice. He had to tap, or he was going to have to cancel bookings elsewhere. Tonight, the evening belongs to Owen Steadman. Ladies and gentlemen, Steadman has arrived.
His next contest is a singles match scheduled for 1 fall. Introducing first.
I don't want to mislead you, Andy. I know you've booked this show. I know who you're coming out, but those playing at home, it's not the 95 Chicago Bulls.
God, my budget does not. Yeah, that's why I'm struggling to make a profit on this show.
That's why I'm hoping to find people, because these Bulls are really expensive.
No, ladies and gentlemen, it is Nate Hunter, who calls himself the Rising Star, but I was about to say, one of the rising stars who is who's currently honing his craft over in Mayhem Pro.
Entering the ring, weighing 190 pounds, from Melbourne, Victoria, he is Australian wrestling's fastest rising star, Nate Hunter!
So you mentioned him at Mayhem. I have worked with him directly at both Brainbuster.
Of course, you'll be very familiar with
yes, and Alpha Pro, working alongside Jay Hunter, the Juggernaut.
Well, interestingly, Nate Hunter sent me a message, and he didn't so much request to be on the show, he demanded to be on the show. But thankfully, I had my eye on him already, you know, and I thought, okay, this is a match I want to see. We've got someone who is smart like a fox in Nate Hunter, showing real potential to be a great in-ring general, versus... Well, you mentioned the word Juggernaut earlier. Look at this Juggernaut!
Yeah.
The one-man dynasty.
Weighing in at 260 pounds, he is the one-man dynasty, Jarvis!
I have seen this man, I have worked with this man, and I've seen him grow in some earlier promotions I've worked with, including Warzone Wrestling and, of course, Underworld Wrestling as well. So I wanted to continue that relationship with him because I know, especially under the tutelage of his trainer, Carlo Cannon, that this man has the tools to utterly dominate. But what a great contest this is. We've got someone who's used to using his size, his power, to basically get his way versus Nate Hunter. Probably, out of all the newbies, is one of the most intelligent and smartest men you could find. Very crafty, very cunning.
Now, like you mentioned here, like the reasons at which you brought in both these gentlemen. I would have brought in Nate Hunter, as he said, the fastest rising star in professional wrestling. That's who you want in the latest rising promotion. This gentleman here, just pronounced Zhan Wen, is that correct?
Zhan Wen?
Zhan Wen. I would have booked him for his like lats alone and his traps alone, I should say. Look at that shit. Crazy.
He looks good on a poster.
Oh yeah.
He looks good on a poster. I'm not gonna lie.
And he looks ginormous against Nate. No offense to Nate, of course, just a much bigger gentleman.
This is interesting. I'm trying not to talk too much because I'm actually absorbed to see how this match goes. It's interesting because for me, I got to almost get out my scribble book and go, I want this guy, and now here they are clashing in the middle of the ring.
That strength coming in immediately. Nate Hunter taken, shocked.
Falling, you ain't running.
I was going to say, you can see the cogs and the calculator running on Nate Hunter, and he's got a bit of a testy attitude. He needs to keep that in check.
As we highlighted, working alongside Nate Hunter, so Nate Hunter working alongside Jay Hunter, the Juggernaut, he would have an understanding of how to work alongside an individual of the size of Mr. Wen here.
Zhan Wen once again with that raw power, that raw strength, just picking him up and dropping him down hard. And Nate Hunter going on the attack, and Zhan Wen just shrugging him off.
Doing absolutely nothing.
Zhan Wen now just showing him how it's really done. Zhan Wen taking his time. It's like he's chewing his meal right now, and he beels him out to the corner, and we're almost seeing a repeat of what we saw with Vixen taking on Eleaine earlier in the day. Zhan Wen making the pecs dance for the ladies in the crowd.
And some men.
Well, indeed, absolutely.
I don't move that way, but I had a moment of, ooh.
Well, I appreciate it. If I could make my...
if I could do it, I would.
If I could make my posters animated, I would gladly have him do his little dance there.
If I had the ability to make someone like Nate Hunter...
Oh, wait a minute. Zhan Wen might have been going for his Emerald Frozen there. Wasn't able to get it. Ducks the clothesline. Now Nate Hunter trying to speed up the contest, and there's the smarts.
I was going to say, if you can put the fear of God into someone like Zhan is doing to Nate Hunter right now, I would be exploiting that also. Whoa! Where'd that come from?
It's a little bit of it.
Hard zoom on some blood. Someone's bleeding. So, we can see it there. The inner lip of Hunter bleeding, changing the color of his
Well,
teeth.
I'm hoping that's not internal bleeding. I'm not sure if my insurance will cover that. However, at the same time, this ain't ballet, folks.
That's right.
And now look, this is Nate Hunter now. He came out of the ring and now he's come back in so he can isolate the leg of Zhan Wen. Now, I don't know if this was the strategy or whether he just saw that opportunistic moment, but regardless, it is effective. Obviously, it's one of the greatest cliches. Take out the vertical base of the bigger man, you know, keep him down on the ground. And that's exactly what Nate Hunter is doing. Hey, for all we know, maybe he's got Jay Hunter in his ear at the moment via a little earpiece saying, yeah, go for his knees.
Could have been
that.
a little prep beforehand, but it's a smart decision working on the quad, the left quad of Mr. Wen, and then going with that corkscrew on the rope a moment ago. However, by not working the top half, Andy.
I love how you called him Mr. Wen. It's like,
Only
you scare me.
I'm also very conscious of ensuring I'm saying his name correctly, just purely out of respect and predominantly fear.
Yes, indeed. Anyway, we can see that Nate Hunter, okay, the strategy is clear right now. He is going for that knee. He has painted it red, and like a bull, he is going for it. But a powerful kick out there from Zhan Wen.
What are you gonna do?
Well, that's a silly question.
Yeah,
You don't want him to answer that question.
You don't ask that. You don't want the answer. It's not going to go well.
Well, there you go. Even with the hurt knee, able to just pick him up with effortless ease. And, he might be going Zhan Wen now.
Jeez.
Yeah, look at that. Just on one leg, trying to go for a muscle buster, but he wasn't able to get it. And look at that.
Running clothesline, clothesline, Larry. Oh, you're too mixed up. Either way, brings him down.
Nate Hunter hooking the leg, but again, a kick out at one.
That was three.
That was
one.
Barely one.
Yeah, wasn't anywhere near the three.
This is my match.
Something we do hear
Yeah,
from Nate
didn't
Hunter
like
a lot, claiming this is his mat with dominance. Leaving little sprinkles of blood everywhere.
I think Nate Hunter really needs to go and recalculate his strategy here because Zhan Wen is standing tall and he is looking strong right now. Throws him into the corner and he's holding that knee, but he's still got an elbow to smash him in the face with.
He's moving very gingerly, but that back elbow doing even further damage to Nate Hunter's face.
Kicked him, but obviously dropping down to the ground on one knee. That would have hurt the knee going for that kick. But look at him, he is eyeing up Hunter. He has something evil in mind to end this contest, no doubt. Hunter now being picked up by the scruff of the neck. And I think if this was the Roman Colosseum, the audience are about to turn the thumb pointing downwards.
Oh yeah, it's time to take it out, send him home. Grabs him from the collar, up into a fireman's carry.
A rake of the eye right there. And Nate Hunter might have just found his opportunity. The big clothesline into the back of the knee. And now Nate Hunter fueling it up. And... I know you've seen this before.
I certainly have. I was like, I may question some of the tactics, some of the decisions that Nate Hunter makes, but they are effective.
And that clothesline right to the back of the head. He might have this. He might steal this. Hooks the outside leg. No!
Kick out at 2.
Yeah, that was getting closer to the 3, and I think Nate Hunter thought he had that in the bag.
You can see it with his... with that shock and awe as his jaw is dropped, instead calling the kill shot, essentially.
What's he going to do? I mean, what's he going to do to try and take this man down?
What
Going
can
for the
you
double
do?
underhook.
Check for this idiot now, huh?
Double underhooking the massive Zhan Wen, but Zhan Wen able to launch him into the corner.
Coccyx right into the buckle.
Huge shot right to the side of the head. He's going for that muscle buster again, and the fans want to see it.
That looks horrible.
Straight down.
And it's going to feel horrible when you're Nate Hunter. 1, 2, 3.
And Zhan Wen got it. via the Muscle Buster, which for all intents and purposes is effectively a capture brain buster, and you've got nowhere to go but down. The spine compressed right on the back of your head. You're not kicking out.
It looks like a car accident. Like just crunching, folding him in on himself, slamming him into the mat. It is no surprise that Nate Hunter down, counter to 3 on his Eleaine.
I'll tell you one thing, this was a
Here it
very
is
strong
again.
start
Look
from
at
Zhan
that.
Wen here in Oz Pro.
Wow.
You see the brain buster again, not the brain buster, sorry, the muscle buster hooks the leg. Beautifully executed. And no doubt we will see more of both competitors here in Oz Pro Wrestling, but tonight the day belongs to Zhan Wen. Anyway, coming up next, huge match I've been looking forward to. Emmanuel makes his return after 5 years to take on Rory Holmes, a man who has been biting at the opportunity to get to show what he can do here in Victoria, but only one man is going to be able to walk out victorious.
This next match is a singles match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first.
Well, coming to the ring first is going to be Rory Holmes. And the reason he is here is because after I signed Emmanuel, I wanted to give him a challenge. So I went to Carlo Cannon, Emmanuel's former trainer, and said, I'm coming down to your school, I want to see what you've got. And he showed me a plethora of talent, many of which I want to put on future shows I might have. I saw Rory Holmes, and the thing that struck me was the sneer on his face when he locked up with his training partner that night. And that's when I thought, that's the man. Ladies and gentlemen, huge hard hitter coming all the way from Perth. He's moved to Victoria and he's been waiting for an opportunity. He gets his opportunity and he's getting it against Emmanuel. Watch out for his spine buster. It's a killer and also one of the best leg drops I have ever seen.
After so many years away, the anxiety, the anticipation that must be within Emmanuel, as you mentioned, you booked him, got him to come back, give him in this big honker of a challenge. That is the scientific correct term. But here he is.
In one of the best shapes I have ever seen him in.
Looks like he hasn't missed a day.
Oh, well, I was going to say, you just wait till he takes off his shirt. This man has been training like a possessed demon for tonight, and there's a reason for that. Look, I am friends with E-Man, or Emmanuel as he goes by in his ring name. And the thing for E-Man is he had to take a break from wrestling for his own mental health sake. And over the years, I've kept in touch, I've been watching his socials, and I've seen him piece his life back together. And I felt this man is in the right frame of mind. He is in the best physical shape of his life. And I thought, you know what? I want to see him back. And it took begging. It took goddamn near all the begging I had to get him back into this ring. But here he is, and I'm honored that he has chosen this show to make his return after 5 long years. And like I say, there's this very interesting relationship that they both share a trainer in Carlo Cash Money Cannon. And this is going to be such an interesting match because deep down I want both men to be successful. I want both men to win. But only one's going to walk out. And is it going to be Emmanuel?
Jesus.
Yeah. Check it out.
I appreciate the heads up, Andy. Damn.
It's good you're sitting down because you wouldn't want to be standing when he takes that shirt off.
No way. Everyone's weak at the knees all of a sudden.
Not Rory Holmes, though. And
Belt
this is it.
has rung. Let's go.
Two big, heavy hitters. And you wouldn't necessarily have described Emmanuel as a heavy competitor previously, but he is packed on the muscle. And I know on the run-up to this show, he was training hard with the cardio, not only to get ripped, but also he wants to be able to make sure he can go the distance if this contest goes the full 30 minutes.
Well, looking at the speed as he got it into that lockup.
The question is, though, I want to know what sacrifices has he made to his fitness and diet to get into this shape? Because you've got to make a lot of key decisions. And it's like, will the change sort of affect the way that I physically compete? And I guess he's going to find out, because he's like lost the last 5 years. He's not been trialing and erroring. He's not been testing things out. He's coming into this with, potential ring rust. And that's a huge question to ask.
It's absolutely a great question, but you mentioned that the reason that E-Man, as you've called him, Emmanuel, took that time away for his own mental well-being, which is a big applaud to him to having that self-awareness to do so. But if you want to talk about incredible, the strength of the mind, and that comes from getting yourself into this position. This is a physical demonstration of the improvement that he has made in that time.
Holmes tried to take a swing at an E-Man, and E-Man able to take a step back and avoid it. But now Rory Holmes using that size and that power to drive him into the corner and dig the shoulder deep. Now, earlier I talked about E-Man being in great cardiovascular conditioning. He wanted to be able to go the full 30 minutes, which is the time limit for this contest. For Rory Holmes, the question is, as the bigger, heavier competitor, it's probably worth his time to try and end it quicker and faster so that he doesn't have to put himself at risk if this match goes the distance.
But the same can be said for Holmes, the other side, with being away from the ring for so long. Yes, you're in incredible shape right now, but the longer you are in this ring, the higher the potential of that rust, as you mentioned, coming forward, being visible, finding the little gaps in between. If there are any, look at the speed as he jumps across Holmes. It gets the elbow in, kick out at one.
Kick out at one, and that was a statement kick out. That's a way of letting Emmanuel know that he is not going to be easy to put away. And Rory Holmes now knows that he was on the back foot, and so rolls out to get that breather. And it's interesting watching Emmanuel compete, because I'm seeing shades of the old Emmanuel, and I know that he almost wanted to escape his past because he was a dastardly villain, to put it mildly. And I know he wants to redefine his legacy as something much more wholesome to where he is now. And he's talked to me about it. He's talked about it on social media, where in the past he's talked about the fact that this was the man I was, it's not the man I want to be. And Rory Holmes now getting discombobulated by Emmanuel, and Emmanuel literally one step ahead at the moment.
You mentioned earlier when we were looking at Owen Steadman having the symbolism, religious symbolism in his video package. We saw Emmanuel having those moments, that small prayer in the corner. You mentioned wanting to be that different person. Are these signs of that positive change?
I mean, I can definitely see, this is what I was trying to say earlier, is that I see shades of the old Emmanuel, but I also see shades of the new E-Man, if that makes sense. It's, this is a man who has evolved and he's changed, but you want to talk about symbolism. The first thing he did is he went and got his old ring gear. He didn't get new ring gear for this. And it's not because he doesn't have the cash for it, I can tell you that for free. But it's all, but because it's the symbolism of wearing what I used to wear and redefining it.
Anyone that has gone on a mental health journey,
E-Man once again.
So anyone that has gone on a mental health journey or a path of recovery can tell you that it's not about forgetting your past, removing your past.
Stinger splash.
It is about taking it, using it, letting it know that it has built you, but it does not define you.
Shoots to the cover, the two! Rory with the kick out. And I was going to say, that was a great stinger splash, followed by a great suplex, muscling him up and dropping him down hard. And I was going to say, E-Man is looking good. There was questions about his ring rust, but I think he's answered those questions, that right now he is looking in great condition.
I have absolutely no doubt that this is rust 3.
And so far, E-Man is behaving himself. He knows every dirty trick in the book. It's how he got so far ahead. But right now, he is playing by the rules, and he is staying ahead on the ethical game plan, but that might also cost him. So he might see opportunities he won't take as a result. And Rory Holmes just whipped him down to the ground. Sorry, Ryan, I do apologise for talking over you.
No, that's all right. It was more of a question. We've given some backing and some understandings on the journey that Emmanuel has come to be here in Ringwood tonight. However, Ringwood, very far from Perth. So those here in attendance may not know Holmes that well. Can you give us a bit of a background on Rory as well?
Yeah, no, absolutely, and that's a very fair request. So for Rory Holmes, oh, wait for this, I've seen this before. One of the best leg drops I have seen. Beautiful execution, the height, the drop. I mean, that might cost him in his later years, but it's worth it for tonight. But yes, Rory Holmes, he was competing over in Perth, but I think he felt he was missing opportunities. He was missing something. So he's flown himself to Victoria. He moved to Victoria so that he could train under Carlo Cash Money Cannon himself. And he's been looking for opportunities in Victoria. He's got to compete over at MYPW over in Malaysia. So he's getting that experience. But at the same time, he wasn't getting it in Victoria. So when I went to Carlo Cannon and said, I'm looking for an opponent for E-Man, he said, look, I've got some great guys. And I told him, hey, I'm looking for guys who you think can deliver and deserve an opportunity. And Rory Holmes was one of those men. And I had to pick him. Because I'll tell you one thing, what a mean, surly bastard he really is.
Having been in Perth earlier this year for another wrestling event, I was able to see some of the talent in the super show that they had over there.
Looks that outside leg. Kick out at 2.
There is quite a lot of strong talent over there, and it must be a comment on the ability of Rory, the intensity of his strength, of his prowess in the ring, for him to go, nah, I'm done here. I need to go somewhere else.
Do you know what was interesting? When I announced his booking, I got a lot of guys from Perth who are in support like that post, including one Lena Cross, international star. Wow. And I didn't realise that they had a professional relationship. But when you've got someone of that caliber liking your post, you know you've picked the right guy for the job.
You know you've done something special. We saw
the
that
outside leg, goes for the 2 and a kick out there by E-Man. And the question is, Rory Holmes right now has his strategy. He is pouring on the pressure right onto Emmanuel, a man who's trying to come back after 5 years, a man trying to rewrite his past, redefine his future. There's already so much pressure on his shoulders, and Rory Holmes is adding literal weight onto them right now.
With that extra cardio training, that extra strength training, none of that can assist you when you've been hung upside down in that vertical suplex for what felt like minutes. To then get
shots into the midsection now. Rory Holmes finally backing off, but the arm has been caught, and this is not good. The headbutts right into the chest there of Emmanuel, and then dropping his head right onto his knee. And Emmanuel, Death Valley driver.
Sorry, I don't know I should be saying something.
No, it's all right.
But
nothing wrong with silence, because silence says a lot.
I look at that and I'm like, I thought it was going to go another way, but the speed at which Emmanuel was able to get him up and over into that Death Valley driver, I love it.
He absolutely popped him into it.
Both these gentlemen, as I personally have not seen before, but we're seeing an anger, an animalistic energy coming out of both these men. Holmes first to their feet.
You can see Rory Holmes just bubbling and seething, and Emmanuel just gritting and sort of grinding down hard in his soul. And look at those shots. Big shots, and kick to the midsection of Holmes.
We got two men here with something to prove. We got Emmanuel proving that he is still capable. Like, the man may have left the wrestling, but has the wrestling left the man? And we've got Holmes, a gentleman who has moved across this gigantic-ass country to prove himself in a whole new space. A win for either of these men.
Oh, the spear in the corner! He's managed to string together some huge impact clotheslines and spears, and now he's going for it. Picks him up in the suplex jackhammer. Beautifully executed. 1, 2. And that is an example of the new E-Man, a man who has physically rebuilt himself to bring these new moves into play here tonight.
And especially if you are someone like Holmes, you've had a look back, you've seen the tapes, but time has changed this man. Whole new moveset, a different thing. As I said, channeling old Emmanuel.
He's going for the super E-Man punch. Wasn't able to get it. And oh! The bicycle kick. Blah, 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 blah. The bicycle kick from Holmes. Goes for the cover. Tries to go for the hook. And you can now see, as we go into the later stages of the contest, Holmes starting to slow down. It wasn't very quick on that cover.
Yeah. So at the beginning of the match, that deep cover crunching E-Man into like almost a ball to attempt that pin. Here, struggling, whether it be the shoulder, the back, the biceps, whatever muscle is giving him some grief.
Oh, and look at this. Oh, going for the cover, Emmanuel. And he didn't even grab the tights. Good boy. Off the ropes and spine buster.
Joe! You told me to keep an eye out for that spine buster, and thank goodness, because that was huge.
Emmanuel fell that. 2. It's over, but no, E-Man.
But not big enough.
Look at E-Man, though. It looks like his soul is trying to find its way back into its host. Tremendous spine buster. I saw that on training, and I saw him destroy a 15-year-old kid with that move.
Oh, that just feels cruel.
Yeah, but I was impressed, and
But it got him the job.
Got the job. Got him the job.
Hey, man.
I'm a simple man of simple pleasures and crushing teenagers who get your work at us prone. Look at him now, slapping the side of the face. And oh, E-Man now. Oh, the super E-Man punch. Square in the jaw. Hooks the leg. It's tight. Is it good?
There it is.
He got it.
An immaculate pin. Hopefully we see it in the replay. Hooks his leg around the leg, cranking it in. There is no way that Holmes is going to kick out of that, even at full strength. No
Well,
way.
let's give Holmes a lot of credit. He was piling on the pressure, and literally the winds just turned, just almost immediately. And as a result of that, E-Man was able to hit the super E-Man punch. I get the 1, 2, 3, but that could have very much have gone Rory Holmes' way here tonight.
Absolutely. Multiple points throughout this match. The tide could have turned in either direction. Holmes staring a hole through E-Man. You looked at a mix of anger, mix of pride, perhaps.
But look, he's got to go back to his trainer, Carlo Cannon, explain why he lost. Anyway, we saw the Death Valley driver earlier in the contest, and look at that spine buster. Gorgeous. But it wasn't able to get it, and finally E-Man with a super E-Man punch. Great angle there from the
So if
camera
you watch
team.
that pin, deep hook on the leg, lock down that jaw. There was no way.
They
A lot
have
of work
ladies
went
and
into
gentlemen.
it, but there was no way
After
out.
5 years, E-Man is back. But the question is, what happens now? I've only signed him to 1 match. Hopefully, we'll get him back for future OzPro shows. Frankly, I'm having both men back. That was fantastic.
Yeah, it's absolutely, yeah. There is no way you cannot have either of these men not be on the show. It's impossible.
Now, surprise! Our next show will be March 2nd, 2025, right here in the Central Ringwood Community Centre. So, make sure you keep your eyes on the prize. Scan the QR code. Get your tickets available right now. We will be back in March next year. While we've got that poster up, I noticed there's somebody on there who I need to bring to the ring. So at this time, I would like to welcome your special guest ring announcer. He's the best looking, the tannest, the strongest, the smartest, the most athletic. He is Tommy Hellfire!
Well, based on that intro, I know that Tommy Hellfire slipped her a $20 note.
We were discussing earlier,
intro.
like, times are tough, man. You needed a bit extra cash. I'm in the same boat.
Hey, you don't know how much Gemstone earns, trust me. She doesn't need it, but anyway. But yes, of course, ladies and gentlemen, the godfather of Victorian wrestling, Tommy Hellfire. We have wrestling royalty in the house tonight as our special guest ring announcer, but also he is here tonight to address the future of Australian wrestling for everyone here in Ringwood. Very accomplished competitor, I mean multi-time Australian heavyweight champion, helped form a lot of the successful promotions that are actually in business here today. I mean, frankly, the Australian scene wouldn't look like the way it looks like now if it wasn't for that man right there.
What is up, Oz Pro Wrestling? I said, what is up, Oz Pro Wrestling? I tell you what, I have been in the wrestling business since 2006. I've seen some of the biggest moments come, I've seen some of the biggest moments go. But I'm so proud to be here today with all of you in the Ringwood Community Centre for the very first Oz Pro Wrestling show. Amen, eh? 5 years and Amen has not missed a step. What about that? We've got so much great talent on the show. It's my privilege and my honour to introduce Bed and Breakfast. Well, we'll get to that. So much great talent. And then we've got the boys out here. I've got my old sparring partner, Wade. Got Tass over there. We've got so many great talent. I am so proud to be out here. I mean, I do have one problem though, but like,
The alarm has been sounded, and it's time for Bed and Breakfast here tonight in Ringwood for Oz Pro Wrestling.
And they brought snacks.
Snacks! It's the most important meal of the day. They brought breakfast. Beloved tag team, obviously predominantly from PCW. But hey, I wanted to run a family-friendly show. You can't get more family-friendly than Bed and Breakfast. I mean, they're coming out with juice boxes, for God's sake.
I just wanted breakfast.
When you told me Bed, I'm like, sweet.
It's busy on show day. Sometimes you skip a meal. It's not ideal.
Well, these are the men you want on your show. The most important team of the day are about to have their debut. Stop! I know, it's a brilliant line.
It's so good.
It's so good, isn't it? I am a pun machine. But obviously, their match is coming up next against a mysterious team.
Really good. I'm still chuckling over here. That was fantastic.
Just a second, I think his blood sugar's dropped a little bit. It's a hot day, his blood sugar's dropped a little bit. What's it say? Juice, 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 juice.
You look thirsty too, mate. I think you could use one of these juices. Who wants to see Tommy drink a juice? Juice, 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 juice.
Well, Tommy Hellfire getting involved in the frivolity here at Kickstart the Heart, enjoying a refreshing juice box.
Looks like an apple juice. That'll certainly help that blood sugar.
Hang on. Oh, it's
it's tropical.
Tropical.
Oh, they went all out.
And there you have it, Tommy Hellfire, though. It doesn't look like he's a tropical fan at all. And Tommy!
Whoa!
What is this all about? I mean, I know he can be a bit rough around the edges, but I paid him to come out here and give a rah-rah speech about the future of Australian wrestling, and he's attacking one of my featured acts.
Could this be him having that rah-rah about Australian wrestling and where it's at? I can say with pretty confidence that back in 2006, where this all started for Tommy Hellfire, teams like Bed and Breakfast weren't around. Does he see this as a mockery to wrestling, perhaps?
Well, this is it. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure Tommy Hellfire will let us know one way or the other, because he might not be using his words, but he's definitely making a statement.
As I was saying, before I was so rudely interrupted, there is one problem with Australian wrestling, and that would be friggin' morons who are here to drink juice instead of compete.
I can see why you got dumped on
The
maths.
problem is, when you want to drink juice, and there's an actual full, real life, full-grown adult in the ring, shit is gonna happen. So kids, this is what happens when Daddy comes home.
Something tells me that Tommy Hellfire isn't going to let the future of Australian wrestling actually bloom at all, and this industry is always going to feature him. This is what I suspect. Well, wait a minute!
Whoa!
Steadman, who earlier on tonight, with his huge victory over Jarvis, and now coming out to the rescue for Ben and Breakfast, and it's like watching the past and the future just glare at each other.
He wanted to talk about the future of professional wrestling here in Australia. He is staring at it right now.
Steadman trying to get into the ring, and obviously Tommy Hellfire waiting for him, but, oh, hang on a minute. Oh, Ben and Breakfast were waiting for him. Going for the double body slam. Oh, Ben and Breakfast getting a measure of revenge. Whether Tommy Hellfire likes it or not, the future of Australian wrestling is alive and well here in Ringwood. And now we see Steadman from the top, front drop kick, and Hellfire has been rocked.
Sent into the corner, seeing directly the cereal of Ben and Breakfast.
Here we go. And he wants nothing. Belly's gonna get you, Tommy. And Tommy wants nothing to do with the belly.
He is confronted by the future of professional wrestling. Look at that. The man is shocked. He is taken aback.
The very future of Australian wrestling is staring him right in the face, love handles and all.
Second!
If anything, that's the most relatable wrestler, like physically. Like we saw incredible, jacked, yoked individuals, including Tommy Hellfire. So look at this man right here, and I go, yeah, I can feel that. I get that. That's
Well,
me.
Tommy Hellfire now is getting out of Dodge. The statement about the future of Australian wrestling has been made, but certainly not in the way that Hellfire was expecting. And you've got to believe, Ryan, this is not the last we have seen of this situation.
I can say with absolute confidence that is correct. You look at that man, he didn't get to finish his sentence. He is absolutely not finished here.
Well, anyway, whilst
Juice.
these three men get a refreshing drink, coming up next is our main event of the evening. First time ever, Ryan Rapid, the Daredevil, the Revolution Killer, is going to go one-on-one against the Family Friendly GORE, who certainly wasn't appearing very family friendly when we saw him last. That is coming up next. That is our main event, and what a way to end the day we have had here in Ringwood.
It is time for your Oz Pro Wrestling Kickstart the Heart main event. And it is a singles match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first.
Well, here comes the Family Friendly GORE, a man who I brought in because I wanted everyone to see the nicer side, which lasted all the part of, 7 minutes?
Making his
Less.
way into the ring. Weighing in at 100 pounds. Hailing from the local ranking. He is GORE!
When his music kicked, Andy, you would have heard us both audibly sigh.
This is what a real man.
As we had expectations, we had trust within GORE. that, as I said, the rehabilitation that he's shown.
Out of nowhere, he was not gonna wait. So earlier on, let's recap. Earlier on today, Gore took on Bush Kelly and absolutely decimated him, and Ryan Rapid, the former multi-time national champion, was not going to take anything of it. And here you see he has come out of the gate, and the Daredevil knows that he's got to keep the pressure on high if he has any chance against the monster Gore.
Absolutely fanging it almost immediately with that incredible sequence, getting Gore down on his feet, standing.
Shooting star press,
Thank
beautifully
you.
executed, you're very welcome. And now going straight on top, pulling every risk out of the book, and Gore rolling to the outside. Ryan Rapid
following it. Following him, sending that front row back a couple meters with the.
But this is the real Gore now. This is the Gore who just powers his way to utter dominance, to hurt his opponent and flex his way to victory. A lot of protein on that frame. A lot of protein.
Just, what is it? Meat. Just, what did you say before? What a man looks like.
It's like a frying pan sort of smacking into the side of the kitchen wall.
Gore lines himself up a second.
And now Ryan Rapid, the reality of the situation is setting in. And look, Ryan Rapid, what an honourable gentleman coming here, fighting for the honour of his friend who's decimated earlier on, only to now find himself in this situation. A cocky cover, kick out at one. Ryan Rapid has a lot of heart.
That heart has just got itself jolted with that uppercut from Gore, eating all that bicep.
Is that all you got, pussy?
Whoa! Again with the P word. I need a swear jar backstage at the next show.
Look, it's a bold strategy, Cotton, to call out Gore that elbow to the top of the dome.
I mean, I once called him that, but it was done in a cute, funty sort of way. Yeah. Anyway, going for the cover now, both hands putting all that weight down, and it's almost like Gore's not really trying with the cover. It's like he just wants to hurt Ryan Rapid more, and look at him just now using every inch of the ring to his advantage, just piling the pressure and the pain on Ryan Rapid.
Covering his eyes with the curtain, preventing Rapid from able to see what is coming aside from just blunt force trauma.
Ryan Rapid now, you can see the pain just etched on his face, climbing up into the corner, but Gore is on him, and you know, Ryan Rapid, he started fast, he started furious, but now Gore is making him pay for that decision. Ryan Rapid, however, able to stay a bit ahead with the back elbow and now the kick, and he's going to the top rope again, but this is what brought Rapid to the dance, and this is what brought Gore to the dance.
Caught midair by Gore, drops him into the mat with complete
almost like a Oklahoma stampede into the cover. Rising the shoulder up, and again, I think Gore is just punishing Ryan Rapid now with the seated abdominal stretch and the flexing with the pose.
Those stiff, almost MMA-style elbows from Gore to the chest of Ryan Rapid. If he wasn't already puffed and having difficulty breathing, he's certainly going to be now.
Oh, look at him. That vice-like grip right onto the side of the neck, wrenching at the neck, cutting off the blood, the oxygen via the artery. But Rapid able to fight out. Ducks the clothesline. He's speeding it up. He might be able to work this. Hurricanrana, and Gore very rarely, but was off his feet for that brief moment.
When Ryan Rapid was given the opportunity this evening for a mystery opponent in the main event, I can certainly imagine he was not expecting that.
Well, I was going to say,
you yourself, how were you expecting this to go?
I don't know. I was expecting another high flyer, perhaps.
Just gave him the full choice. Kick out at 2.
There's a lot of talented guys out there, but he wanted revenge tonight. He's gone after Family Friendly GORE. Look at him. GORE just pounding the back of his head into the mat now. Just trying to turn him into a smear on the canvas.
GORE
now.
Crank from the midsection, gut wrench.
Just a deadlift and flinging him around with effortless ease. Makes it look so easy. And look, Ryan
And again,
Rapid,
there's another one.
I know. And Ryan Rapid, might I add, is not a small man at all in his own right.
He may appear small when you're standing next to GORE, but a brick wall would appear tiny next to this man.
Tell you one thing, if this was a 2D beat 'em up, Ryan Rapid's face is like the health bar. You can just see it beginning to diminish. It's like old school Doom.
And it's also getting redder as it moves down, gets less and less health, sends him into the barrier.
Right, some kids there nearly got to take home his spleen as a going away gift.
They were pretty stoked to get front row seats. Next show, maybe not.
Might move back to silver.
Yeah.
Please don't come back and buy the gold. It's an extra $5.
All available.
That reminds me, tickets for our next show
Yes.
are available. Reaching the brass ring. Hopefully GORE will be on his best behavior, but right now he is certainly on Santa's naughty list.
I imagine that that Clockwork Orange idea may come into play. You felt it was unnecessary earlier, but with the strong switch that we're seeing in GORE, even himself attempting to get up high, something we don't often see from GORE.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, he's looking to make a statement of some sort here tonight, going up top, and for Ryan Rapid, the best thing he could do is probably not turn around. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. Ryan Rapid, look at that. Trouble in Ringwood right there. Snapmares him back down. Kick. Oh. The spinal tap kick and then the kick to the side of the head. Rapid fire. Goes for the cover. 2. Oh, I'll get his name there. Look at him trying to pull the fans into this contest. The squeezing of the fist trying to get into it. And now he took a look back at GORE, but oh, wait a minute! The referee being used as a weapon and Ryan Rapid falling to the ground, and now the referee is out. Oh, and this is a lot of trouble for Ryan Rapid.
Not in a good place to be at all. If we had any concern around the family-friendly status of GORE, when there's no ref, there's no one to get
What's
it.
he looking for? Oh, it's that signed chair that you'll be able to win in the raffle at the next show, and he's gonna.
This has got some dangerous product placement.
Oh, wait a minute! Bush Kelly, measure of revenge from earlier on tonight. Fair's fair, and now Bush Kelly, he has had enough. Going for the ugly accident.
Wow! That is a ginormous Uradagi from Kelly. What was it called again? Sorry?
The freak accident.
That is the most apt description I have seen. Rapid gets to the top.
Rapid from the top rope. The moonsault. Look at the arc on that thing. And the referee, he's back in it. 3.
Wow!
Huge win for Ryan Rapid.
Compliments to Kelly. Rapid stepping in earlier in the night, giving him that helpful hand, and then following it up and returning the favor.
Hey, look, and usually I wouldn't approve and wouldn't expect Ryan Rapid to try and win the victory with outside assistance. But at the end of the day, Family Friendly GORE had this coming after attacking Bush Kelly and Ryan Rapid earlier on the evening with the low blow and the steel chair. But tonight, the heroes ride on victorious into the sunset.
Speaking at the end of the day, it is the end of our day here at Oz Pro Wrestling. But before we go, some hot replays of this match.
Started off hot, and then GORE, the Family Friendly GORE, I'm going to add some apostrophes to that, was about to use the chair, but Ryan Rapid, huge exclamation mark there, gets the cover. 2. All she wrote. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Kickstart the Heart. Please check again on ozprowrestling.com.au when we return March 2nd for Reaching the Brass Ring. I have been Lord Andy Coyne.
I've been Ryan Betson.
Thank you and good night.